Subnautica 2 will be the first full sequel to the popular game Subnautica, and the direction the game is headed. The beta will release in early 2025. While we have no news on the full game's release. Without further ado, let's continue to the trailer.
At the start of the trailer, we have our guy come up to a rock, but the rock is merely a shell for a giant crab. From the guy in the trailer's reaction to the crab is, or would have been, a friendly monster to the images. I'm not so sure friendly because in the newer image we have the crab come out of sea moth. Not really a sea moth. I'm not sure. Now further into the trailer, we see our guy being dragged into a sea cave. Isn't it very obvious what the currents will do? Are they fast travel? Are they dangers you will need to avoid? Since the trailer shows the currents are dangerous, so we'll call them dangerous. Continuing onwards, the character is very, very deep in the ocean. Then we get revealed possibly the most awaited feature of Subnautica, multiplayer. Since the game will be for multiplayer, it will have some major impact on the story and how to continue it. So make sure to be excited for that. I know I am. Before our guy can be rescued, the biggest creature in Subnautica ever seen before is a giant squid. Looking at the tentacles, there's clearly some inspiration from the Sea of Thieves kraken.
For a brief moment in the trailer, you can see that there is some ancient ruins. Comparing it to any other architect base found in the original Subnautica and Below Zero, we find that it doesn't originate from the architects. But that raises another question. What race made these? Well, since these don't match anything we've seen in the series, we have to imagine that this is an all-new species appearing for the first time. But what implications does this mean for the story? It isn't so obvious, but for starters, this might not be the only race in the game, or the new species might not be the center of the story. Either way, we know that the story will be much better than the first one.
That's it for the trailer, but we got some newer images that may have you interested. First, we have 5 screenshots. The first one seems to be a portable and more manageable version of the Sea Glide. Instead of taking up a slot, you might have a spot for it in your inventory just for it, allowing you to hold something while going fast. We can see a few creatures in the corner, but it's too blurry to make out. The second picture, we see our man getting real close to a fish. The fish's name is the Hammerhead. You can compare it to the original Crossfish. Both may be chasing you to explode you in the face. It is unknown if this is true or not. The third picture, we see the crab from earlier. We can see it destroying a vehicle. We called this the sea moth earlier, but this looks vastly different. So its official name is now the sea egg. For the fourth picture, we have a long creature. Going from what it looks like it's attacking the player character. That means it's hostile. Looking at the environment, we can see that it's likely very far down, having magma and geysers. Finally, for the fifth picture, we can see the player character scanning the same creature with a scanner gun. But the scanner gun seems to have an upgrade from the last game. Whether this is a start of the game upgrade or a late game one, I don't know. We also do have some concept art. There's only 4 images this time! Anyway, we have some art of our giant squid. We can see a clear view of how much the tentacles look like the Sea of Thieves kraken. We also see the multiplayer, meaning that all the way back in the concept art stage, they had multiplayer in mind. The second art, we have the character exploring a cave. There's nothing really to know here in this concept art, except the plants. The third screenshot, we have what looks like the sea egg. It seems to have a cool light. And finally, we have another sea egg picture. It looks like this is going to be a very nimble vehicle, perhaps. Finally, our very last segment, the development screenshots. We don't have very much to go off since we're given little context, but I'll try my best. So there's 6 images. The first one seems to be the sea egg in front of a giant shark-like creature. It may be the one that we saw earlier. The second image is just below the waters. There's a couple of fish called half moons. But that's it. The third picture shows us a heavily vegetated area. The fourth has something in which I cannot describe, and the fifth seems to be a different angle of the fourth. And finally, the sixth, which has a little cute creature that might be friendly. Well, thanks for watching your Subnautica vid. There is a U in Subnautica!